Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me, and this is a narration of that message. The narration reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My brother, I have come here on your platform and I want you to share my own confession. My story, it goes on like this. From a very young age, Brother Nash, I can say when I was around about 15 years, I was already sexually active, and I was already sleeping with a lot of boys. But amongst all of these boys that I was dating, there was one that I loved a lot. This guy, he was going to school at this other school that is called Prince Edward. So the guy's father will come and collect us. He would come and collect the guy that I was dating as well as this guy's little sister. So what will happen was that this guy, when you will be driving us back home, he used to look at me a lot. So in the end, I then started falling in love with him. And then there was this other day when he told me that he wanted to be with me and he wanted to take me back to my place. We then went back to my place, but the route that he chose, it was a very long, but the route that he chose, I saw that this guy, he just wanted to spend some time with me. He then parked by the side of the road and we started touching each other and we started kissing each other. Then he said, I still want to be with you. So at the suburbs where I grew up at, there was this other bush area and there were a lot of tall gum trees. So he said, let us go there. He then drove his old Mercedes Benz, the one that was very popular back in those days. We then went to that bushy area and we parked the car at a place where no one could actually see us. Then we started making love. After we had made love, we then returned back home. So this was like an everyday thing. The guy, I had only loved him because he was a doctor, even though he was much more older than my own father. I then stopped dating the other small boys because they had no money at all. I wanted a blesser that had money. So I started dating my boyfriend's father, the old doctor, and I started dating two more blessers. But this old doctor, he was not giving me a lot of money and he was quite old anyway. I was embarrassed to be around him. I then started dating only two guys. Then I found out that I had fallen pregnant. So amongst these two blessers, I chose the one who had a lot of money. This man, Brother Nashi, he used to treat me really well. When I would go and sleep at his place, he would take money. Then he would place a lot of he would take a lot of $100 bills. Then he would just pour like a bucket full of those dollar bills on his bed. Then we'll start to make love on top of his bed. So I loved him because he had a lot of money. So I then told him that I had fallen pregnant for him. When I told him that I had fallen pregnant for him, to my surprise, he was quite angry because I thought that finally he was going to be happy and he was going to marry me. But what I didn't know was that this guy, he was a ritualist, and the oath that he had taken was that he was never supposed to impregnate any woman. So he had told me to take family planning pills, but I had forgotten and I wanted to fall pregnant. I apologized and he gave me money and he said that since you are underage, I do not want to be seen around you. I want you to go and find someone who can help you to have an abortion. He told me to go to Mbare. This was like the first time ever going to Mbare. But anyway, I went to the place where there were a lot of traditional healers. I spoke with one such traditional healer and I gave him a lot of money. Then that traditional healer gave me some herbs. He said that, please, when you drink these herbs, if these herbs are going to make you sick, when someone asks you, where did you get these herbs, please do not tell them that you got them from me, because I will deny. So this man, he then gave me the herbs that were going to make me to have an abortion. I then returned back home and he warned me and he said that these herbs that he had given me, they were too powerful and they were going to make me sick. But I just wanted to remove this thing that was growing inside my womb. When my parents left the house, that was when I planned to drink those herbs. I drank those herbs and I pretended as if I wanted to go to school. When I was busy packing my lunchbox, that was when I collapsed. When I woke up, I then found that my father's younger brother, he was at our home and he was busy speaking with my parents. They were so worried, but they were really far and they could not make a U-turn. So I then woke up and I told my father's younger brother that I was okay. He wanted to take me to the hospital, but I refused. He then left his phone with me. Little did they know that already one of my blessers had bought me a phone. I always kept this phone hidden in my mattress. But when my father's younger brother left, that was when I communicated with that blesser, the one who had given me the money to have an abortion. He said, come to my place. I said, no, you can come. I waited for him outside of our house. He came and we got into the car. When we got into the car, he saw that I was really sick. He then took me to his place. When we went to his place, he said that he wanted me in his bedroom. We went to the bedroom, Brother Nashi, and he said, wait here, I am going to come back. When he came back, I saw that he was holding a clay pot, and he said, this clay pot, I want you to take it and I want you to place it inside between your legs. He then took the sanitary pad that I had because I was bleeding so heavily, and then he took that sanitary pad and he placed it inside that clay pot, and he took this other cloth and he started wiping my private parts. Little did I know that he was actually sacrificing that thing that was coming out of my womb. With time, this man then told me that he wanted to go with me to this other traditional healer. This was after he had told me that he was a ritualist. I was then taken to that traditional healer, and the traditional healer told me that since my womb had already been sacrificed by this blesser, then it was impossible for me to sacrifice my womb twice, and it was not going to be accepted by his shrine. But he gave me another option. Soon after sacrificing my own relatives, the laws that I was supposed to live by is that whenever I sleep with a man without using any protection, there is this small plastic container that was given to me. So what I do with this plastic container is that soon after sleeping with a guy that I'll be dating, since I am very rich now, I can do whatever I want. Then I will tell the guy that I am going to bath. Then I will go and I will lock myself in the bathroom. When I would have locked myself in the bathroom, in fact, what I will be doing is that I will then squat on the floor and I will place that small plastic container between my legs, and I will start to push all of the sperm that would have been left in my womb by that guy that I'll be dating. Then after doing that, I will then place that small container in my handbag. And Brother Nashi, I have had a creature that eats all of these sperms that I put in that plastic container, but I do not know what kind of a creature it is. But I know that these are the rituals that I do. If I sleep with a man, I am forced to do this ritual. I am forced to sacrifice his sperm. I have been doing this thing for a very long time, and a lot of boys, they love to date me since I am a very rich, wealthy woman, but they do not know that I actually use their own sperm at the time when we will be making love. Brother Nashi, I have sacrificed some of my relatives, for these are my own rituals. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our listeners, and this is a translation of that message.